Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! RuPaul's Drag Race Season 3, the grand finale! We made it. First things first, shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink, trywink.com/moviebitches. You get $20 off your first month of wine.
So the three queens remaining walk into the workroom and get to see Yara Sophia's message on the mirror.
Her very long
message. They're all sort of having a cathartic moment.
This has given me a completely newfound respect for Alexis. I've teased about her and called her a booger, but she's here. She's part of the top three. She's worked just as hard as I have.
It really felt like all three of them this episode were sort of just calm.
Yeah.
They were like, look, we've done all we can do. We're going to try our hardest, but like the competitive of it all had sort of deflated. And they're like, let's just be pleasant.
That's true.
And we're all tired, and let's just not stress ourselves out by being dramatic.
Yeah.
And just do our work. So we get Ru's message.
Oh, right.
Now, if more is more, then bigger is better. And when it comes to your dreams, size really do matter.
Manila is like, well, what do you think that means?
I think whoever has the biggest dick, honey.
I won!
Yeah! Wasn't contested.
It was not a discussion. It's just like, yeah.
I won!
Yeah! So Michelle Visage comes in and...
looking like a solid gold dancer.
Yeah, right? Ooh. There's a lot of gold lame this season.
There was a lot of gold lame this season.
So Michelle announces that they are going to be taking part in Ru's Greek-inspired video of Champion. She announces that Ryan Heffington is back.
Oh my god.
Very excited. We'll talk about it and talk about his outfit.
Can I talk about it?
Well, and then also that Mathu Anderson is directing the music video.
Yes, it was very exciting.
Yeah.
But we get to go to Ryan Heffington's rehearsal. He's just wearing a red baby onesie.
Loved it.
With, poopy butt, poopy drawers.
Was it?
It was like real, I don't think he actually pooped his pants, but it was just like a real drop crotch, and I wasn't mad about it.
It's really quite a skill.
Right?
It's just like, wow, you are doing so much, and yet not mad about it.
It's sort of like the opposite of Santino. Like when Santino tries really a lot, you're like,
ooh, you're
stop.
trying so hard.
It's too much.
Yeah.
But with Ryan, you're like, yeah. Maybe it's because he's in heels as well.
Well, it always helps. Ryan Heffington reminds me in a lot of ways of Justin Sayre.
Who's that?
He is a writer for a bunch of shows and whatever, but he's fabulous. But Justin Sayre does this thing called The Meeting of the Order of the Sodomites. It's really funny. It's like a stand-up thing. I'll post a link to some videos. But he's very kind of like, I don't know what this outfit is, and like the beard and the this and the that, but like with the heels and the boots, and it's working.
Bottom line is it's working.
Yeah.
I got excited because I was like, oh, I love Ryan Heffington. And then he didn't really teach them much choreography. It was mostly posing.
And switch. Oh. Manila, make it a little bit more grand. You are a statue. They've carved you out of stone. This is not going to get it. Yes.
Yeah.
And then walking and dipping.
This was bad. And I think that, I don't know, I thought there were a lot of mistakes made in this music video. But one of them was this choreography because...
What choreography?
Exactly.
It was posing and then walking and dipping.
And he didn't even tell them really how to pose. It was a lot of just kind of like, pose. Give me more arms. And you're like, well,
It seemed like they called him that morning.
Right, maybe.
And he was like, oh, I'm going to make these pajamas work. He's like, throw on these try-on heels. I got some jewelry. It's going to be fabulous.
Sure, but...
I'd like to think that he sleeps in that and then makes it work for daytime as well.
Love it. Bedtime to day wear.
Yes.
Forget day to night.
Bedtime to day wear. And then we get Ru's Tic Tac lunches with everybody.
Yes.
Ru seemed checked out.
I'm just going to be myself, and I am very sure.
Well, she asked everyone the same question. She says, who's rooting for you at home? Where I feel like, at least in later seasons, she tailors it specifically to like their storyline or their arc or what they need to talk about. What therapy they need from Ru, you know?
Yeah. Oh, the producers told me that you struggle with... What do we talk about?
Who is rooting for you back home?
So, who's rooting for you at home?
Yeah. Will you please make a joke about the Tic Tacs? Thank you.
We had lunch and you didn't touch a thing.
I told you I was in a diet. I want to work on my body so Michelle likes it.
All right, darling, you just keep on flying.
It seemed like Ru wasn't even listening. You know, like Alexis Mateo was like, oh, like, you know, I'm on a diet. Like, I want my body to look good for Michelle and like whatever. And she wasn't like, don't look for Michelle's approval. You should just feel comfortable with your body. Well, because you are a beautiful person.
Alexis talks about how her family is actually a really great support system for her, and she gets cheered up and kind of says, you know, I found a new family when I moved to America, and I kind of built that up, and she seems like she has a nice support system around her or whatever.
Yeah.
And Manila was basically the same.
It feels nice to be blessed. To have, like a supportive family, because I know lots of people don't.
I thought this was interesting in that, like, both Manila and Raja in some ways kind of said the same things to me.
Right.
Well, my parents aren't really on board with the drag, or they don't really participate and see what I do.
They didn't, like, disown me, but they're not
cheering me on for it.
Right.
Manila was kind of like, I hope they're proud of me, I'm seeking their approval.
Well,
and Raja was like, this is fucking me. Although it's interesting because it reminds me actually a lot of conversations that people have on Top Chef, which seems so weird, but they'll be like, oh, well, you know, like I was a doctor or I went to med school and then I decided to be a chef and my parents don't think, you know, they don't support it or whatever. And I wanted to come on to Top Chef to like win and be like, fuck you, mom and dad, I'm really great at this too.
Yeah.
I'm an amazing person that can be a doctor and cook a Michelin-starred meal.
What is this, Thanksgiving? I couldn't possibly.
Don't joke about that.
Don't joke about that.
Don't joke about that.
That's what I was doing.
With my lip gloss. Don't joke about that. So then there's the second part of the choreography, which is just use the pit crew member as a stripper pole.
Oh boy. This was weird. What a weird choice. And now we're gonna have a really weird sensual...
So we're gonna have you be in bright lights in the workroom, out of drag.
Yep.
Not feeling yourself, you know.
No wigs, no nothing.
No nothing. And you're gonna have to grind up on this person that we use essentially as a prop.
Now, here's the other issue with that. This video was produced really poorly. Because they should have had them in wigs so that they would have been like two things that I think should have happened. First of all, knowing in my head, oh, it's going to be a silhouette shot. Oh, Alexis, you're going to wear this giant wig?
Yeah.
It's going to look really fucked because your hair is so big, you can't, it's good. I'm just going to see a giant wig silhouette.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. You should maybe think about a different wig.
You're going to look like the Elephant Man.
Yeah. And also, the other thing is that if they'd had them in shoes, then when Raja was with poor little...
Towering over Sean. Like a giant.
And I'm like, that's not sexy. Maybe you should give Raja Jason, who's like much taller.
Right?
And like, you know, Manila can be with Sean.
Sure. Well, yeah, it was just very awkward.
Yeah.
I thought actually Raja did the best in the rehearsal.
It was weird because she's like, do you have a fear of intimacy?
And down, 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 down. Do you have a fear of intimacy?
A little bit.
Maybe she just like can't deal because apparently Sean has such bad BO, he's not allowed at his gym anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Apparently Sean has such bad body odor that they like kicked him out of his gym.
Stop it. And then Manila actually did have intimacy issues because apparently the whole time she was just so concerned about what Sahara was gonna think.
Right?
Oh, watch yourself. Watch yourself. I'm a married woman. It's kind of awkward. I have to get all like nasty and grind up on some like sexy greased up man.
I just didn't understand this.
No.
What it had to do with champions or...
Well, champion does make sense in terms of like the athletic Olympic.
No. Like this sexy,
none.
backlit.
None whatsoever.
There was all this talk of like...
It should look like you've known each other forever. Actually, no. You've known each other for 2 nights. It's always a little bit more heated after that point.
Let's pretend like you've been fucking for 2 days and you're like in a bedroom.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk of that, and yet it was just like, and now you're backlit, rub on each other. I didn't...
Maybe it's because, like, sexual harassment has been so in, like, the news that I was real icked out by it, but a lot of it felt weird, and, like, when they're like, ooh, when Matthew Anderson's like, I'm tingly, I'm like, no, that's not appropriate.
Bam!
Yes, take me. Hi, kid.
I'm tingling.
Hi.
So then we get to the actual, like, filming of the music video. It's a goddamn mess.
Hot mess.
We have Ru for one shot, and it's a wide one.
Yep.
And then she will be leaving.
Yep.
That was it.
Mm-hmm. We'll redo her hair and makeup. We'll shoot her separately for some weird neon light thing.
That had nothing to do with anything else.
No, like they couldn't even have had boxes.
They couldn't have had Ru come out of a volcano. I mean, come on. Come on.
Mount Etna. Or Mount Olympus, I guess. Ooh, that would have been good.
Right?
Clouds or something.
Some lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Make Ru Zeus.
Ooh, Zeus, yes.
With like white hair. I love it.
Ooh, that would be good.
Just towering over them. Yes. Maybe she turns into a swan at some point.
That
was like
a story.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Zeus would turn into a swan and then come down to Earth and then impregnate humans.
Sure.
Human ladies. Yeah. With his swanness.
Zeus liked to impregnate women a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if swan penises are like duck penises.
Like a corkscrew?
Yeah.
Probably.
I like that you know that.
I know that because of the Howard the Duck How Did This Get Made episode. Is that why you know that?
No, but maybe?
Well, it's just a mess. They don't know their choreography because there isn't any.
Right. They cross, you cross, I cross.
Quickly.
Here we go. Oh! Cut.
Thank you.
Oh, everyone's terrible at missing their marks and not doing well? This was a logistical producerial issue.
It really was. It was like, this was not done right. And I love that Ru was just pissed the whole time. You could just see her standing there being like, what the fuck? I want to get off this fucking box.
Standing on this goddamn box.
Yep. And then all of the queens are like, oh my god, Ru's so mad. And I was like, that would be scary. That would be like, because like, particularly, it's one thing on the show to like maybe piss Ru off or like...
Right, but this is like...
But it's like, oh, Ru's filming her fucking music video, you're not doing it well, and you're wasting a bunch of fucking money. Well, you're wasting the $6 an hour that it's costing them to make this video.
So then we move on from the Grecian goddess phase.
Right, to the Grecian slut phase.
Olympian.
Oh no, well the athletic phase.
Throw in this discus.
Yep.
But I'm holding on to it.
Why didn't they have a net or something for her to let go of it into?
Then they'd have to pay for insurance.
Right. They're like, we can't actually throw any of these objects, so...
I wouldn't have been surprised if it was so backlit if it was just like paper mache, you know.
That would have been better, who cares?
Right?
Then you could have thrown it out of your hand. Do you remember, did you ever, like, in school, did you ever do Olympic sports? Like, I remember we did, like, an Olympic sport, like, where it was like, and now, like, we're gonna all take turns practicing the shot put.
Oh, yeah,
And, like, here's a disc. It's hard to do.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I mainly played kickball.
Good. Did I tell you how I broke my collarbone playing 3 Flies Up?
What? Wait, what's 3 Flies Up?
It's like where you throw a frisbee. Yeah. And then it's like...
I didn't know you broke your collarbone.
Yeah, oh, it gets better.
Were you in one of those, like...
Yeah.
Shelf?
I had, like, a back harness brace.
Andrew!
For, like, a few weeks.
So this isn't a cool story about how you were doing something cool and then broke your collarbone.
Oh, no. So, great. It's like, in 3 Flies Up, you can, like, throw it.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that you could say was, like, jackpot.
Yeah.
Which was all of, like, basically whoever got it won.
Yeah.
And then there's another thing called Dead or Alive, where it's like, even if you don't catch it, you can pick it up from the ground.
You're fine.
If it's dead, you can still get it. So it's basically like, whoever fucking gets this thing first wins everything.
Dog pile.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I got there first. It was quick, run, grab it. And then this kid who didn't even go to our school, you didn't even go to the school, was visiting. This kid was like 200 pounds. 5'11", lands on top of me. I got up and then I couldn't turn.
Little baby
And I was like,
Andrew.
you guys, I can't turn.
Right, so they're in the Olympian section. Yeah. And they all have to kind of do these backlit poses together. And Alexis is wearing...
Oh, the crazy big
the
head.
biggest hair we've seen
Yeah.
this season, I think.
And if you're off, you're just gonna get hidden behind Alexis's hair.
And Matthew Anderson is so fucking shady about it.
Someone's hair's very large and it blocks other people. But I'm not saying who.
He is not a fan of his hair.
I loved every minute of it.
I'm not gonna say whose hair is so big.
Alexis, you're gonna have to focus on your profile because when you turn front, you're just hair.
Such big hair.
That was the best part of the music video, was Matthew Anderson being shady about Alexis's hair. I like that Alexis couldn't have given a fuck.
No, she was like, what? I'm a drag queen. Of course I have big hair.
They trying to blame my hair because of Manila's mistakes. Bitch, don't hide behind me.
I was just kind of surprised that Matthew wasn't just like, this isn't working, we can't see Manila, so Alexis, you go to the left, and Manila, you come into the middle.
You'll be in the center. It seemed like there was a lack of direction.
Right? It's like, oh, that would mess everything up.
Overall. So then they have to do the pornography.
Right, oh, now we're gonna bring some boys into it.
The sexy scene, right? And Raja really got into it.
Yep.
And Matthew Anderson says that she could give Sean a head job.
It can look like a head job.
Oh yeah, a head job. It looks like a head job. That's okay.
No, he goes, you can make it look like a head job. That's fine.
That's right.
And then at a certain point, Alexis just starts cha-chaing with Jason.
Yep, very Grecian.
Then they all have to do their like weapon or whatever, and so Raja's got the javelin, and it looks pretty cool. And then Alexis has the bow and arrow, and it looks pretty cool. And then Manila has the discus, and it looks really stupid.
It looks really stupid.
And silly. And I was like, that was kind of a burn on her. Like,
yeah, poor Manila.
The discus is hard to A, make look cool.
And also, B, particularly when you can't throw it.
It's the hardest to pretend to throw.
Yeah.
You know, the bow and arrow is like, oh, I'm posing.
And
I'm posing, you know.
It's gonna go.
Like, I'm
it's
giving
just like
someone a
this
prostate
weird...
exam? I don't know. What am I doing? Like, what's happening here? It's weird. That wasn't fair.
Nope, it was not fair.
But it was hilarious.
Yes.
Because I feel like I could watch that for hours.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
And then they all have like a group hug. And it just, I don't know, it was like a pleasant. This whole episode, I really appreciated Alexis and how sort of just like carefree and happy she was. Like she was like some weight had been lifted.
Sure. I don't even care how I did or how it comes out. I'm RuPaul's video, mother sucker.
And I was like, oh, where was this Alexis, 5 episodes ago?
Sure.
And it bummed me out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, you're like so fun and just like la-di-da. And I loved it.
Yeah. So quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with the runway and some speeches that we probably don't care about, and then the crowning of a winner! And also some Untucked. It'll be great.
I keep looking at Sharon, just how fucking fierce she looks.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She's like staring into my soul. She's like, you better work out, bitch.
You better work, bitch. Oh!
Oh! Ru walks down the runway.
As Big Bird Disco Chicken?
I thought she was like straight out of the Copacabana.
Oh.
It felt very Copacabana.
Copacabana.
I don't know. I felt like she was gonna go out for a night on the town.
I could see that.
I liked the really big flower.
The giant flower in
the
her hair.
stupid big flower in her hair.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. It was Big Birdie, but in a good way.
Yes.
And I was not mad.
I was not mad.
I was into this look. So first down the runway is Raja.
Yes.
I mean, it was just all that jazz, Chicago, cabaret. It was like she was Bob Fosse incarnate.
Basically.
It was like Bob Fosse transferred his essence into a drag queen.
Yeah, a very tall drag queen.
Yeah, 'cause Bob Fosse wasn't the tallest.
Fabulous high heels.
Oh, they were really fabulous.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't love was the hair on the side seemed to like real wig-y. Real like, oh, I just pulled this back. It was a very small thing. But I was like, I wanted to see her ear a little or something, but I loved it.
I really like this. I thought this was good.
Gold chain.
Yep.
Money.
Money. Get a little, get a little. So then next down the runway was Manila.
I did not like this palette.
No.
I mean, it was like chartreuse, which is already aggressive.
Sure.
With magenta accents.
Yes.
With a skunk on her head. Yes. And a tiara. Yeah. And giant earrings.
I hate those earrings.
It was cheaper than she usually looks.
Much.
You know?
And part of that, I think, honestly, could have been changed just by getting rid of those earrings. Because those earrings look cheap AF.
It fit well.
Yes.
Her body was on point, but I didn't like this dress.
I didn't either. For like the finale look, that's what you wanted. None of these, honestly, to me were like, yes, this is what you should be wearing a crown in. This is the most finale look ever.
Right. Last on the runway, Alexis Mateo. I didn't hate this.
I didn't hate this. I get what she was saying about like why she wanted to wear this.
Yep. I mean, it was another pony. You know.
Sure.
You know.
A little bit.
It was a show pony.
Yeah, a show. Oh, I see what you did there.
Little circus pony.
Yeah.
The little Mary Poppins umbrella.
Every day's a holiday with Alexis. I didn't love this though either.
I thought she looked gorgeous. I liked the color on her. Mm-hmm. I thought it was very Alexis.
Yes.
I thought her body looked proportioned properly. You know, this is never going to be aesthetically my most exciting.
Sure.
You know, it was like very like, oh yeah, and you're a pink showgirl.
Yeah.
That's never going to be my favorite thing.
Well, I mean, even beyond that, it's never going to be like out of the box. I'm never going to be like, ooh, what an original, amazing thing to show us for the finale, a showgirl. Like, no. But it was a good showgirl look.
Yeah.
Like, she looked good. She looked polished.
This was probably one of my favorite looks of hers.
Of hers. And then that's it. I mean, it was just kind of like, okay, these are the 3 looks.
Well, and then they showed them their music, like, here's your highlight best of. And I was like,
these are all bad.
These are all bad. Why did you, who put this together?
Right? They have Raja throwing the javelin and then bring it back. Oh, she didn't throw it?
It's like such an easy cut to just be like, and I'm throwing this cut to something else. Oh, I bet it went far and she passed a world record. Oh no, it's just, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing with my arm and should I hold these coffee mugs and
It's weird. What do I do with my arms? I've never thought about that before. Maybe I should just hold something. Okay, yeah, this feels more natural. Is that right?
And then the same thing with Manila. They didn't do her any favors with throwing that discus, but she did look gorgeous. I think Manila had some of the best
working it faces. Well, especially when she did like this long arms and then down. It was dramatic and fabulous. Yeah. I like that. That was really my favorite moment
with her.
Yeah.
And then Alexis looked really pretty too.
She had some good archery shots or whatever and
some cha-chaing.
Oh yeah, that was a lot. I mean, Michelle was like, I liked that you cha-cha'd even in
you brought your cha-cha-ness to Greece and it was like, well.
A lot of me wondered this episode, what Yara Sofia would have done.
Oh, I bet it would have been great.
I bet she would have been the most sensual.
Oh, yes.
Of all of them.
She would have climbed Jason like a tree.
But like a sexy tree.
I always hate the final lip sync because it's always 3 or 4 people and you don't know who to look at. But I really liked, so in this one, she narrows it down to 2 and then they lip sync. So
yes, she says Alexis.
She says, it's breaking my heart. But Alexis, you're not America's Next Drag Superstar. And then Alexis leaves and says that the jig is up. And writes that the jig is up. And,
still not sure about that one.
Still not sure what do we think she thinks that means?
The jig is up, bitches.
It's over. So, Raja and Manila have to lip sync against each other. And because it's the same song they've been singing for 3 days, and it's a Ru song, which isn't ever emotional.
Yeah.
It wasn't the oh shit, the 2 final Heathers are lip syncing against each other.
Yeah.
Oh, Rujubi. It wasn't that.
No.
But it was pretty good. I think they were both having a lot of fun.
They were. I'm not gonna lie, I personally think I liked Manila's better. I thought Manila was a little bit more fun. Raja was giving me a lot of, you're a champion.
I think Raja was having more fun. Manila was doing more fun things, like doing the robot.
That's true.
And, like, doing her share.
That's true.
So I liked them both, but I don't know. I wanted Raja to win.
Well, sure.
Sorry, I did. I love Raja. I love Manila too, but this look though, chartreuse.
Oh, sure.
I think only Nicole Kidman can pull off chartreuse.
Maybe Jessica Chastain.
That feels right.
Yeah, right? I'm just gonna guess.
But not Amy Adams.
No.
Kate Blanchett. She could pull off chartreuse.
Yeah,
she can pull off anything.
Yeah, I feel like most people kind of knew where this season was going not even at this point. For the past like 6 episodes, it's like, it was Raja's to lose.
Sure. I'm just remembering like how I felt in the moment. And this was the most just like, yes, I wanted her to win. I was rooting for her. Like, I don't know. And at the moment, at the time, nobody like her had won.
Right.
Everyone kind of talks about how she was just fashion. And that was all.
But she was smart.
And she really wasn't. She was smart. She was funny. You know, yes, she was an asshole sometimes, but she was confident. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't apologizing for herself.
No.
And she knew who she was.
Yes.
Very clearly.
Yes.
So Raja wins.
Yes.
Manila is very upset.
Of course.
Rightly so. I felt bad because I felt like she really, you know, thought she had it.
I can't even explain being so close and then just not being able to get there. I don't think I could have done anything differently.
Manila is upset, but then like pulls herself together and makes a joke. And she's like, well, I'm first runner-up, so when Raja dies of old age, I get to take over. And I was like, good.
Yeah, that's
great.
good. Yeah.
I'm glad you're back.
So this week on Untucked, the last and final Untucked. I mean, it was a little bit of a boring Untucked.
Well, the final one
always is, because there's not that much material to talk about.
Yeah.
It basically didn't get fun until they were talking about all the other girls.
I did like that. So Raja is like, oh my god, I'm so exhausted. Da, da, da. And she's like, when this is over,
I am going to let my fucking balls hang low. I'm gonna scratch them in public. I'm gonna be gross. I'm gonna grow a beard.
Once again, Manila's wig line is an issue.
A little bit.
It's almost every week. Yeah. And you don't notice it until Untucked.
Well,
I mean, it's
right.
Very
the
obvious,
lighting, with the lighting.
And it's like,
ooh. Then they all have like a nice little heart to heart where it's like, oh, you know, like I wish we'd gotten to know each other better, or like, oh.
They all sort of like admit that like the clicks weren't great.
Right.
The groups got split up and there's this, you know, click started to happen. And it really isn't entirely my style.
But it's the competition too.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I thought it was interesting because Alexis basically has said to both of them from the beginning, I didn't like you.
That is true.
She was like, I thought you were a horrible bitch from the first episode. And it's like, well, so maybe they were right in not including you.
And when I first saw Raja, I was like, what the fuck? Remember you walking down with that one eye?
You're like, maybe they fed off of your vibe.
Alexis, I mean, 10 times says, I thought Manila was
so annoying.
The most annoying person ever.
Oh my gosh, Manila, in the beginning you were so annoying.
And I was like, when?
I didn't get that. And Manila kept being like, oh, I know, oh God, am I gonna be the annoying queen? I was like,
no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right? And then Alexis kept saying, oh, you were such a bitch. And I was like, when?
When?
Manila has been pretty much the nicest of all the Heathers.
Absolutely.
Manila was the only girl in the competition who I really wanted to punch in the face. In the beginning, I thought you were so fucking annoying.
Yeah, that was an easy way out.
Yeah, so then they go through every queen, you know.
As they were eliminated.
Venus left first.
I don't know if she should have been the first person to go because I really think that she had a lot to offer. It would have been interesting to see what she could do.
They kind of just round the bases about everybody, and then really the only people, like when they were going through everyone, the only people that I was like, oh, I wish they were back was Delta and Yara, really.
Certainly Yara. And Mariah, I think, probably left a little early.
I mean, but she gave up. Remember, she basically gave up.
She did, that's true. And they had pretty good critiques about her too, whereas a lot of pageants, like, and she's gonna go out and be pretty.
Coming from the ball scene where you only just show up and you show your face and they judge you on just that.
I did die laughing at India's weather girl again.
Oh my God.
Now, there is a 932nd consecutive day rainbow in Gayville, South Dakota, okay?
It was a personality problem.
they get to Shangela, and they're like, oh. And even Alexis is like, oh boy, what do we say about Shangela? Silence. Yep. Awkward silence.
Well, then after Carmen was Shangela.
Shablamgela.
Wow, what can we say about Shangela?
Raja's face, like, are we gonna open this wound again?
Right,
oh
right.
boy,
oh
or whatever.
Boy.
Well, and Raja admits, she's like, you know what?
She pushed my buttons.
Shangela knew exactly how to push my buttons, and she pushed them, and I fed into it.
Yep. She knew exactly what to say to get me going, and I was gonna tell her.
Now, it will be interesting to see if Shangela ends up playing those mind games on All Stars 3.
We'll see.
Right? We'll see if the competition or if it's just her personality or whatever it is, but if she's... Because she talked about it multiple times in this season, where it was like, oh, I'm going to trick her. Oh, I'm going to do... You know, it was always like, I'm going to play this mind game to trip them up.
Yeah.
And so it's like, is she going to try and do that?
I mean, she's certainly less insecure now, I would hope.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be another Fifi situation where it's like, oh, she really tried to not take the bait, guys, but...
Right, but she still did.
She's bad in a competition setting.
Right.
It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And then they all do, like, their best Shangela impersonation. Remember, they're like, so you're doing this? So this is... so this now?
So now you're gonna be...
so you Miss Benetton.
now you're reading.
So now you're Shangela.
It was fun.
It was fun.
You know, because they weren't taking it
too seriously
to the next level. You know what I mean?
Well, and
I feel like if Raja hadn't taken the bait as often, it would have been funny to watch Shangela spin herself out.
Sure. It's like Raja and her were just toxic and volatile in a bad way, for me at least. It made it less fun.
Yeah.
Partially maybe because I preferred Raja.
Yes.
But also just because it got ugly.
They all kind of talk about how they were all really disappointed with Yara.
Yeah, for giving up,
and they really wish she had turned it out, and they wanted to see her full performance and a lip sync and a fight to the end. You know, and
honestly though, I was kind of mad at her when she did that. I felt disappointed that I didn't really get to see her really perform.
They felt like a nice camaraderie of
a little bit.
You know what? I made it this far. We're all
winners.
We're all winners. We all respect each other.
Yeah.
You know, we think we all deserve to be here for the performance that we turned out in the season. And
I did find that a little awkward that Manila was like, to be honest, I thought it was going to be Yara, not you. But then I saw you perform and it was like,
we were all thinking it.
I mean, it's true.
And then at the very end, Ru is signing off and then she just like has a bucket of fried chicken. That she takes a bite out of, and then I'm sure immediately spits out once they yelled cut. I don't eat fried food.
Well, cheers. We'll be back next week with the reunion, which will be drama-filled.
I'm excited because I don't really remember it.
I don't either.
I don't remember specifics.
But I remember people talking about it, and so I'm excited. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, comment, and we will see you next week. See you next Thursday. What am I doing?
What are you doing? I never thought about this before, but...
That it spells out cunt?
No, I knew that part of it. No, see you next Wednesday. Is like a John Landis thing.
Really?
That's in all of his movies. The phrase like "see you next Wednesday" like shows up in posters or here and there or on a marquee, and that's fun. So now I'm thinking about that. It's my fun story about John Landis.
Great.
Who I saw at the mall the other day, and I was like, "Holy shit, it's John Landis!" And everyone was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "I hate everyone."
So anyway, see you next Thursday, or I love this though. For our Patreon members of $5 a month or more. See you next Wednesday. You guys get the John Landis treatment.
I love it.
Cheers.